Welcome back to ProSex Studio. I'm Brian Downs, and on this channel I discuss the sexual subtext of film and television shows. Are these works pro or anti-sex in their message? Is Ready or Not pro-sex or anti-sex? First, let me ask you to like, subscribe, and click for notifications. Second, let me ask, what the hell do you think? The premise of this excellent 2019 suspense thriller is that whenever someone wishes to marry into the Lodamas family, this old and propertied clan must make them draw a card on their wedding night. On the card will be the name of a game, which all the family will play. It might be chess, it might be Old Maid, but if the card says hide and seek, then it's a lethal game of search and pursuit in the family demesnes. You see, the centuries-old family fortune was created by an occult curse, and this is its bloody price. The family must kill the new spouse before sunrise or doom befalls them all. And if a pair of newlyweds refuse to draw a card, then the devil deals their deaths nonetheless. So, what is a wedding? The official beginning of a sex life, the sanctioned beginning of a sex life and a sexual relationship. What does Grace, played by Samara Weaving, who is quite remarkable, by the way, get for trying to make her sex life official? A crowd of blue bloods trying to kill her. This is 2 of my negative memes. I've discovered 12 negative memes about sexuality that are recycled and repeated endlessly in popular fictions. One of them is, danger is sex. Sex is presented as dangerous, or conversely, danger is presented as sexy. Having sex is a dangerous thing to do. It's also the wanting disaster, the most common negative meme. The idea that wanting sex, having sex, pursuing sex leads to a dangerous, bad, disastrous result. Sometimes there's a direct causal relationship, as here, or sometimes not, but the disaster follows the sex very quickly. The first reference to sex in the film is about 4 minutes in. Grace, gorgeous and fey in her wedding gown, is rehearsing her vows and musing to herself, and even though your dad definitely hates me and your alcoholic brother keeps hitting on me, I honestly can't wait to be a part of your moderately fucked up family. Now look at how that's framed. Being hit on is bad. Now, being hit on by your fiance's alcoholic brother is bad and awkward, but that's the only sex we see. That's the first reference to sex we get. Being hit on is bad. Incidentally, we never see her brother-in-law hit on her in this film, but she says that he has been doing so. That's bad. Being part of the family is good. Family, of course, is always good. Or at least, so she believes, before the game begins. For now, though, she's cheerful about the wedding ceremony that is being prepared on the lawn of the mansion. Her fiancé, Alex, played by Mark O'Brien, enters the room. He reassures her that all will be well. It's just that his family is used to years-long courtships, not the 18-month relationship, bonathon, she teases, that they did. So, we now know that this good-looking young couple has had a lot of premarital sex with each other. In the backstory, we don't see any of that, and there is only this one small reference to it. They kiss at the customary time in the wedding ceremony. Then, there are the usual photos and the happy couple retire to the bedroom we saw earlier. Grace climbs on top of her husband and instructs him to take his pants off. When he hesitates, she says, "I'm going to take your pants off," and starts doing it for him. But then she's startled by forbidding and severe Aunt Helene standing in the shadows of the hallway. "You'll have to hide. Better than that," Aunt Helene intones. Then she informs them that everyone is waiting downstairs. This is another film, like so many other films, that could just have been titled The Wanting Disaster. Grace wants, and eagerly wants to continue her sexual relationship with Alex, who is now her husband, but it's not going to continue. They will never have sex again. It's going to be blood and terror instead. Grace seeks sexual pleasure and gets horror, pain, and targeted for death by the devil himself. This is what you get for trying to fuck your husband. And we can say the same thing for Alex. He is sincere in his love for Grace and dreads the possibility of the wrong card. He was hoping for Old Maid and a quick departure in the morning. After the hunt begins, he is the first to find Grace and explains that this is not child's play. Which brings us to the subject of the help. The La Domas mansion has 3 maids, each one a remarkable beauty. Each wears a short skirt, stockings, and a lace choker, even to read young children bedtime stories. This obviously suggests sexuality and BDSM fantasies, and it is Clara, the reader of children's stories, who is the first to die. In a case of mistaken identity, she takes a bullet in the eye socket from Emily, Grace's coked-up sister-in-law. We get to see lovely Clara's delicate neck and beautiful legs right before a bullet cracks her skull, and then she lies gurgling on the carpet, dying slowly before our eyes. Dangerous sex. Certainly danger is sex. Look at sexy Clara. Look at beautiful Clara. Bam! Watch her die. Grace witnesses this killing. It's how she learns the true stakes of hide and seek. The second person to die is Dora, another one of the very attractive maids. Emily of the nose candy manages to inadvertently put a crossbow bolt through her tonsils, and she has to be decisively finished off by the battle axe and Helene. It's only a few minutes later that Grace blunders upon Tina, the last of the cleaning staff. She is hiding in a dumbwaiter, terrified and confused, although Clara and Dora seem to be perfectly composed about what was going on. How does that job interview go, by the way? Oh, we'd like to bring you on as part of the family staff. You'll need to wear heels and a lace choker every day and every night. And by the way, anytime there's a wedding, there's a chance you might be accessory to murder. The devil made us do it. Anyway, Tina tells Grace, "Look, I'm not even a maid. Mr. La Domas, he just likes the way I dance." This clearly suggests that the maids have an erotic function within the great house. Grace tries to calm Tina down. Tina starts shouting to attract the attention of the hunting party, and Tina gets accidentally crushed to death in the dumbwaiter's machinery. The sexy girl with dancing skills gets about 3 lines of dialogue before she gets crunched, crushed, and dies spitting up blood, because the dumbwaiter is designed to exert hundreds of pounds of slut-smashing force. There's a lot of running and chasing. We rack up some more bodies. It is very entertaining and well-written film. I recommend it. In the end, Alex betrays Grace. He decides he would rather lose his love rather than see a diabolical doom befall his family. It's her lover and husband who puts Grace on the sacrificial table. Where does the final, most lethal betrayal come from? From the man with whom she enjoyed a lot of sex and with whom she wanted to have more sex in the future. The wanting disaster, and your problem is sex. Grace wears her wedding dress throughout the film. It starts out a dazzling and elegant white. It ends covered in blood and filth. She uses part of it to kill a man. It's an obvious symbol for the wages of sex. By the end, Grace's sexual relationship with Alex is certainly over. On top of that, there are 3 married couples among the 1% Satanists of the La Domas family, but we never see a single moment of eroticism between any of them. By the end of the film, all 4 of those marriages are over, and no one is in even an ostensibly sexual relationship. Everybody gets what they deserve. The horror genre is a slow and waddling prey to chase through a big old house, but I enjoy doing it anyway. Ready or Not is here to sacrifice your sexual peace of mind. It is pathologically anti-sex. So I'm Brian Downs, this is Pro Sex Studio. If you find this interesting, this examination of why our culture is so hideously twisted about the fact of human sexuality, then come back next week for another episode on another film or television show, and take a look at my existing videos. There are quite a number of them. There's a few on the Marvel Cinematic Universe and other well-known properties. Thank you for your time.